Hey guys, welcome back to Bohs Fan TV, and today we're going to be doing a preview video and a predictions video to the Sligo game tomorrow at the showgrounds. And so, how are you, Ryan? Or Aaron?
Yeah, I'm grand, Lenny. How are you?
Good, good. So just to start off, we obviously got a very poor result against Waterford last Friday. So, what did you make of the game?
I didn't actually watch the game. I had a training, so of what I heard, and everyone was saying we were shit, but I don't know. Can't really comment on the game. I didn't watch it, so but the goals we gave away were crap. To be honest, you don't really see us giving away those type of goals.
Yeah, we were very poor. Interestingly, Danny Manager started the game and he didn't look very interested. Um, and yeah, we were up until Waterford's first goal, we were actually playing all right, but then I think it gave them uh, confidence boost then to want to win the game. So we're just going to start with the predictions. So I think the first game this weekend is uh, Derry versus St. Pat's at the Brandywell. So what do you think the score will be in that game?
I see that being a 1-1 draw. Both teams are a bit inconsistent, but they both have up front. They both have players that can put the ball in the back of the net, and I can't see either team winning it. So 1-0's probably a fair result.
Yeah, it's a tight one. Pat's got a alright result against Sligo. I think it was 0-0. Yeah, it was 0-0, I think. But apparently they were the much better team in that game. Um, and Derry are a bit inconsistent, as you said. So yeah, I'll probably agree with you there and go with a 1-1. The next game is our game, but I think we'll leave that till we talk
Um,
about the game. Yeah. Um. So I think the next one is Cork City versus Dundalk at Turner's Cross. I think this one could be rescheduled, but we're gonna talk about it and give our prediction anyway. So what do you
yeah,
think the score will be in this one?
well, this is the old big game of the season a few years ago, but
Mm.
it's down in Cork, is it, or is it?
Yeah, it's in Turner's Cross.
Ooh, such a tricky one. Because Cork have kind of improved in the last few weeks. They just haven't really been getting results, but they've been playing good football, especially against Rovers in the cup. I thought they were decent enough. I'd probably tip them off 2-0.
Yeah, as you said, this was the top of the table clash a few years ago, but it's changed now. Um, yeah, I probably agree with you. I think Dundalk probably have a bit too much for Cork. Dundalk I think have been given a real boost now that the new manager's come in and he's gotten two decent results. So yeah, I'll probably go with a 1-0 Dundalk win. Next game is Shells and Finn Harps at Talca Park. Your prediction for that one?
Mm, uh, probably go. Both teams kind of lack that target man up front. I think they both teams don't score that many goals, but I'd probably say Chels 1-0.
Yeah, I think this one would be very tight. I think they played each other a few weeks ago, and I think Shells won 1-0 despite being down 10 men for most of the game. Um, I think, yeah, both they're kind of lacking a bit of creativity. Both teams like don't really have a standout player up front with a lot of like flair and goal scoring ability. So I'll probably go with a 0-0 draw. I just think
Yeah,
it's well,
if, if either team wins, it's gonna be 1-0.
yeah, because hopefully you'll get this one right this time because I think a few weeks ago I said I think it was Waterford versus Finn Harps and I said it'd be boring and a 0-0, but it ended up being like a 3-2 Finn Harps
3-2.
win. Yeah, so I have a feeling this one will be boring, but no one might look probably be like a 4-all draw. So it's it's just mad. So the next one is on Monday night. Shamrock Rovers are taking on Waterford. So should we think about them?
Well, Waterford would be on a high after beating us. I think, where are they now in the table? Fourth.
Yeah, they're fourth, I think, yeah.
So they probably have aspirations of pushing for that fourth spot, relying on one of the top three to win the cup. But uh, uh, against Rovers, I'd say it'd be 3-1 Rovers, but Waterford will put a good shift in anyway.
Yeah, Rovers have been unstoppable lately in the league. They've been winning games. You know, they've won every game so far. Actually, no, I think they got
They
a couple
just
of
do.
draws. Yeah, they got a couple of draws, but they still haven't lost a game, and there's a good chance that they could go the whole season unbeaten. You know, yeah. So yeah, I'll probably go with a Rovers win. They might be a bit tired after the
Milan game.
AC Milan match, but there's a whole few days after that game, so I'd say maybe 2-0 Shamrock Rovers. So yeah, that's the predictions done. So I went to the preview for the game against Sligo, and I think we really need a reaction from the past couple of poor performances.
Yeah, we really need a win to bounce ourselves back up because we haven't won a game since the Coventry game, and that's over a week and a half. I think, I don't even know. But yeah, if you had said to me at before lockdown, what game would you have wanted to play first if you had to pick? I would have said Sligo, but now they'd be one of the last I would have said because they're on form. But I don't know. They drew at Pats last week away, which is not too bad, but they're probably them and Watford have been probably the two surprise packages of the season. I thought Sligo wouldn't be they'd be safe. They'd be around the 6th or 7th, but I thought Waterford were screwed. But they seem to pick themselves back up. But yeah, this is a tricky one. I'd say 1-1. I don't really see us winning, to be honest.
Yeah, as you said, Sligo have really picked their season up. I think before when heading into the restart of the season, they were bottom with 0 points. Now they're the third and they're
They're
fifth, I think. Yeah,
fifth.
the fifth. Yeah, but I think they've really come on form now. Ronan Coughlin's been brilliant for them, and they've got some good players in that team, like Junior. He was a very good player for Derry last season.
He got the
He was,
golden boot last year.
yeah, he was one of the best players in the league last season. Um, and yeah, it's just we've been looking really lethargic in the past couple of games. I think maybe we had two really important games in the space of a week. The one
Yeah.
against Fairvar where we played so well, but then lost in such a disappointing way on penalties. Then we played Rovers and lost that game. So maybe that's kind of knocked the stuff out of us a bit. Maybe that's why we didn't really play very well against Waterford. Um, it's it's going to be a tough one to predict because you never know really because I think both teams have been kind of even lately. Maybe Sligo probably been on the better form, but on that day we can definitely beat them. There's no doubt about it. But as you said, I'm probably gonna go with 1-0. It's gonna be a really tough game, a really tight one, because Sligo like to play that kind of game. They've got good players going forward, and they've got a solid midfield and defence. So yeah, like they've been playing some very good football since the restart. They've beaten teams like Dundalk, and they've beaten like uh what's it UCD in the cup as well. So yeah, like it's gonna be really tight because we're not on good form and we need a reaction because
Yeah.
I think we need to win this game if we want to kind of keep the title hopes alive. I know they're slowly starting to fade away, but I think if you want to get top two at least. We want to be winning these games.
Yeah, I don't think we can really afford to even lose a game for the rest of the season because Dundalk are going to be breathing down our necks. Because
Yeah,
they look like they've kind of picked themselves back up anyway, but uh, they have Europe tonight anyway, so they're playing some Andorran team. They should probably win that anyway. So that might come into account if they get through to the third round in Europe. But yeah, I just can't really see us winning. Really, I never really doubt us, but
yeah. I think I can see some changes being made. Maybe people like players like McGuinness dropping out, maybe putting Talbot back in. So, what would be your team for the
yeah,
game?
yeah. I'd probably stick with McGuinness because like so the two goals last week, you can't really blame. Well, maybe the first. Which one was the free kick? The first or the second one?
The free kick was the second one.
Yeah. So the first goal probably should have done a little bit better, but with the free, he didn't really have a chance. I'd stick with McGuinness. You have to take into account though the amount of minutes they've played in the last since the European game. Like that was
Yeah,
hours penalty shootout. A few days later they're playing a Dublin derby. Then you have the cup game against Cabo in Warford. Like fatigue is starting to kind of show with the players. But I'd say Keith will put out a strong team because he wants to put out a statement like saying we're still in this even though we've lost our last two games. But yeah, I'd go Andy Lyons, then Finnerty and Casey at the back with Breslin. In midfield, uh, Buckley and that other midfield, it's either Levo or JJ Lunny. Like
yeah,
he likes to chop and choose between them, but I'd probably go with JJ Lunny. Then I'd stick Keith Ward back in for Mandrew because Mandrew just was crap against Waterford, but then Danny Grant on the left, Chris Twardick on the right, and I played Dinny up front. I'd give Dinny a game.
yeah. I can see changes being made because I can't really see him putting out the same team that played so crap against Waterford. So it's really a flip of a coin between McGuinness and Talbot. But I have a feeling he'll probably stick with McGuinness. Um, Breslin at left back, Finnerty and Casey at centre back, Andy Lyons right back, Keith Buckley. I'll take out JJ Looney because I thought he looked a bit poor against Waterford, so I'll probably stick Conor Levinson in there alongside Keith Buckley. Uh, I'll go Chris Twardick on the right, Danny Grant on the left, and I can't. It's hard to pick between Wardy and Mandrew. Mandrew was he looked threatening the first few minutes against Waterford. I think he had a good chance. He had one good chance, and he created a bit of play as well. So I'd probably stick with Mandrew, but I wouldn't be surprised if he played Wardy ahead of him. And I'll go with Andrew right up front, as he has been for most of the season, especially
Yeah,
since the restart. Because Danny Corkin and Glenn McCauley haven't really been getting a look in really. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh, both our predictions are 1-1 draws. But hopefully we'll see a reaction from the team after two disappointing results. So yeah, that's it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.